It's your policy to use another company's name?
Kris, do you need any roads outside?
Ma'am, I'm asking you a question. You just represented yourself as Flag City Towing. You're not. You have nothing to do with
Yes,
Flag
sir.
City Towing. You're trying to take advantage of people using our good name and our good Google reviews.
Well, Kris, like I said, if you need to tell, we could get dispatch to do it. But
Well, who are you
if you
going to
don't,
send?
that's
Because
okay. So it's just our policy.
you said you're going to send a Flag City Towing driver named James. I don't have a driver named James, and you wouldn't dispatch him anyway. I would. YouTube. So, a video that I wanted to do this for a while. I call them scammers. Just a short explanation of how this came about. A few months back, well, I guess probably quite a while back, when we started light duty, I've been in towing for quite a while, but I never dealt with the dispatch part of it or dealing with the customers before the job was done. So there's all these different motor clubs, different insurance carriers that use these different motor clubs, and basically if you have towing on your insurance, you call these people, let them know what you need, and then they call around to local companies and try to find the cheapest option, which I understand, but a lot of times people end up sitting on the side of the road for hours as they're trying to find the cheapest option. So some of them are pretty easy to deal with. Some of them we don't do business with just because they're a pain. And some of them are actually really polite, respectful. They'll call and say, hey, we have this customer here. They need to go here. You give them a price. Sometimes they'll haggle a little bit, but a lot of times they take it and you go do the job. They pay with a credit card and that's it. So what had happened is one of these had called, and this is before I had done much research on these different motor clubs, and they asked if we could do an in-town tow. So I gave them our in-town rate. It was $135, and sent a driver to do it. And when the driver got there, it was an elderly gentleman, and he was talking to the driver about how it was more expensive than he had anticipated, and the dispatch that he was on the phone for like 20 minutes, and then it was just really complicated, and he was trying to use this directly. He had watched some YouTube stuff, and he had just Googled, Flag City Towing, and when you do that, some of these other providers will pop up, and they were charging him like $200 and something just to go across town, and I was like, and he was upset about that, which rightfully so. All our prices are on our website and on our Google business profiles. So this gentleman was upset, and then I was upset because I have a customer trying to get a hold of us, and these people had kind of deceived him. And this Safer Road Rescue is that one, and they'll when you do a job for them, they'll send you an email, and they want you to send pictures and all this, and it'll say on there, I'll try to find one of the old emails to show you guys. It'll say, don't discuss the price with the customer. Don't tell them anything that you're getting paid, because they're charging the customer, $350, and they're paying you $150. So once I figured out that's what they did, then we don't do stuff for them anymore. But I just wanted to show how this works. So we're gonna call one of these people and ask for a tow, and just give you an example of how it works. Okay, so hopefully this shows up okay on camera. So I just Googled towing near me. I have all our local companies, and there's one of our ads, and then you have this one, and it's always a real generic website. It'll be just generic pictures of tow trucks. It'll say get towing 30 minutes from now in 3 easy steps. There's never an actual company name, and there's no pictures of their actual equipment. They got their people say the nicest thing reviews, and see, it's just super generic about company. Get towing in 30 minutes. Call now and put your timer on. And that's how these work. It'll say They tow all these vehicles and all this. So let's call these people and see what they have to say.
Good morning. This is Roadside Assistance. How can I help you?
Hi, I need a tow in Findlay, Ohio.
What's the year, make, and model of your car?
A 2014 Ford Fusion.
2014 Ford Fusion. And what's the color of it?
Black.
Is it a four-wheel or a two-wheel drive?
Two-wheel drive.
Front or back?
Front.
Can it go into neutral?
Yes.
What about the tires? Are they okay?
It's got a flat steer tire.
Okay, the steer tire is flat. Just one tire, right?
Yes.
Great. What is the pickup address?
2200 Tiffin Avenue, Findlay.
The vehicle is in the parking lot or is it along the roadside?
Parking lot.
Are you with the car right now, sir, or is it just unattended tow?
I'm with it.
Okay. And where do you want us to drop it off at?
1161 Trenton Avenue, Findlay.
1161, you said Trenton, right?
Correct.
So we'll take it from 2200 Tiffin Ave and it's going to 1161 West Trenton.
Correct.
Sir, do you need to ride along or is it just a pick and drop?
Pick and drop.
Pick and drop, awesome. Because actually I do have my driver around the service location right now. One moment, because we went out to do a tire change. Let me talk to him quickly.
What's the
I'll
price?
Let you know the price for the tow. Yeah, I'll let you know shortly. Just one moment, okay?
You don't have an in-town rate you can tell me?
Come again, sir? Like the price for the service?
Yeah.
Well, the estimated cost of the service is going to be $225, but I just want to make sure with my driver first.
$225.
Know his ETA.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And we could get dispatched. Just a brief, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, great. You're welcome. One moment.
So 225, and then they're going to shop that around to a couple companies. Maybe they'll call us. 225 for an in-town tow.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Great. So my driver is almost done with the job. So he's around Lone Tree Drive, which is a couple of minutes from where you are. And the moment he's done, he's going to head over to you to come and pick up the car.
Well,
You're going to be there, right? Are you going to...
What company is this? There's no company name on your website here.
Well, this is just a Google Ads number, but basically the name of the company is actually Flag City Towing and Recovery, because we are around Bentley Court area.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. I've seen that. I looked at them too. They have really good Google reviews.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I mean, doing job for customers is actually a priority because that's how you build your reputation to get the sales out. Well, what is your name?
Okay. My name's Kris.
Chris.
Kris.
Oh, okay. KR. What's your last name, Kris?
Stafford.
Stafford.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. I called around to a few places before, and Flag City Towing has a much cheaper price than $225.
I know. It's just because of our availability right now. Like I said, we are available right now because we are a couple of minutes from the location. You said there's a steer tire problem. One moment. Is it like a broken axle or something?
No, it's just flat.
Okay, no problem. Because if it's a broken axle, then it should be, a lot expensive. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, so we could get dispatches up, and we do charge upfront before dispatching the driver to the location,
Really?
and we accept card. Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know, but it's just our policy. We do charge upfront, especially on Sundays.
That's
Because
flat.
if we're gonna dispatch over to your location, if you cancel within the ETA, like we're gonna get out, we're gonna be charging you cancellation fee. That is if you cancel the service.
That's Flag City Towing's policy?
Yes, sir.
Really? That's interesting. I'd rather not do that. Do you have a supervisor I could speak with?
One moment, let me see if because I'm the one in charge here today. So, but just a brief, please.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, Kris.
Yeah.
Well, he's in a call right now, so
Well, can you?
even if you was,
I'm looking at this website for you guys. Doesn't say Flag City Towing on it.
you mean like I don't understand.
It said, well, the number I called, the website that I'm on says towing near me, guaranteed towing in 30 minutes, #1 rapid towing service. There's nothing about Flag City Towing on here.
I do understand. That's how Google answer.
Why doesn't it say Flag City Towing? Well, people probably want to know who's coming to get them if they're paying you $225. Like, what?
I understand. Yeah.
Your website doesn't make sense.
I understand, but this is Flag City Towing. This is our Google app that we usually run. We do roadside assistance, lots of it. So.
You do. What's your driver's name that's going to come get us?
Well, today we have 3 drivers on shift, James and what's the other guy's name? I think it's Peter. But basically, the manager is the one who's going to assign to get dispatched. The driver who is out, I think he's. Let me check the inventory, please. One moment.
Okay.
Yeah, it's James. So he's currently out. He's the one doing the tire change, like I said, around the Cypress location. So once he's done, he's going to head over to you.
Okay. Well, I'd rather not pay up front for a service. I don't feel right about doing that.
I totally understand, sir. It's just our policy. But here's the thing. If we're going to get dispatched, at least we take minimum of 50% upfront. Because, like I said, if you cancel, that's why we're going to charge you for 50% upfront before we get dispatched. And when we get there, you can give the balance. But without, like, at least something like a payment or guaranteed upfront, I don't think the manager will approve a dispatch.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable doing that. Is your manager available to speak on the phone yet?
No, we actually have a situation that he's actually taking care of. That's the major reason why.
Well, here's my situation. What was your name?
My name is Tio. T as in Tom, H as in House, E as in Echo, as in Oliver.
And where is your guys' location at in Findlay?
You mean where the driver is at right now? The driver that was going
No,
to
like
dispatched?
you have an office in Findlay, right? Is that where you dispatch from?
Yes, sir. We do have.
Where's that at?
Like I said, it's 110 Bentley Court.
Well, here's an interesting story, ma'am. My name's Kris Stafford. I'm the operations manager at Flag City Towing. So everything you told me is completely false, and we will be contacting a lawyer about that because that is ridiculous. I'm sitting in 110 Bentley Court right now. I dispatch every job that we do. I don't have a driver named James. I charge $135 for an in-town tow. So you're being deceitful and you're taking advantage of people. And I would like an explanation as to why you're doing that and using my company name for that.
Well, I understand, sir. If you need any roadside assistance, you can give us a call. We'll be happy to help. But like I told you, I've given you the necessary information already. It's just our policy as well.
It's your policy to use another company's name?
Kris, do you need any roadside assistance?
Ma'am, I'm asking you a question. You just represented yourself as Flag City Towing. You're not. You have nothing to do with Flag City Towing. You're trying to take advantage of people using our good name and our good Google reviews.
Well, Kris, like I said, if you need to tell, we could get dispatch to do it. But
well, who are you going to send? Because you said you're going to send a Flag City Towing driver named James. I don't have a driver named James, and you wouldn't dispatch him anyway. I would.
Anyways, if you need any assistance, you can give us a call back.
No, I would like an explanation. Well, there you go, folks. So that honestly went different than I expected. I expected them to, I don't know, use some generic information. I did not know they were going to say Flag City Towing and represent themselves as us. So I'm probably going to need to talk to a lawyer about that. I don't know if there's anything you can do about it. Probably not, but there you go. So this company, you see this is what I Googled, right? So she said they're Flag City Towing, located at 110 Bentley Court in Findlay. That's where we're located. And she said she was going to dispatch a driver named James. He's currently finishing up a tire change right now. Well, I used to have a driver named James. I don't anymore. I don't have anybody doing a tire change right now. And every call that gets dispatched goes through me. So that's messed up. Because as you can see, we have a 4.9 Google rating. Great reviews. And they're piggybacking off of that. So you see our ad right there. There's my motorcycle. Check that out. Theirs is right below ours. I clicked that. This is what comes up. I called that number and she said, she gave me a price and everything, $225. And she said Flag City Towing. Now what I expected to happen was they would call around and try to find somebody. Last time I called one of these places, I was on hold for about 10 minutes as I assumed they were calling around to different companies. These people just went right ahead with Flag City Towing. That is ridiculous. Yeah, I'm caught off guard by that. I wanted to do this video for a while, but I didn't think it was going to go that way. And I'm not sure what to do about it. There's probably nothing you can do about it, which is not right in this country. That's the world we live in now, is these people. Who knows where she's at, halfway across country, halfway across the world, and she's dispatching for Flag City Towing. You see that? See anything about Flag City Towing here? Weird. Freaking weird. Holy crap. Alright, so not sure where to go from here. Alright folks, so hopefully the audio of that turned out. I didn't expect that. Like I said, expected them to call and call around and find somebody, but they just went, nope, we're Flag City Towing and Recovery. And that really caught me off guard. Hopefully I didn't pause too much. Like when she said that, I was like, holy crap. I'm just flabbergasted. So if anybody has any idea, like what do you do about this? There's probably nothing you can do, which is sad and frankly ridiculous. 30 minutes. So that's one thing I really, 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 really try hard on our harp on our guys is RTAs, ETAs are great. We will, our ETAs are 98% of the time spot on and really, really good. So I don't know if these people are piggybacking off of that. As you can see, It's all generic bullcrap. Doesn't say it. Just certified company. Certified in what? Nothing says Flag City here, which I guess that's probably how they get away with it, by not actually just copyright 2026 towing and recovery. Call now and put your timer on. Yeah, I can't believe this. This lady's like, yeah, I'll have a guy there. Like, no. Every call we get goes through me or Christian. Probably 80% of them come through me. The overflow goes to Christian. There's no call that we do that I'm not aware of. I guess if I wanted to waste money, I should have. They wanted payment up front, though. That's not something we do either. They wanted payment up front. I should have just said that and then just went and sat and see who showed up. I'm thinking I should do that right now. All right, YouTube, update. So this is going to bother me. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. So I'm down at the gas station down the road from our shop. I had Christian call these people and tell them we needed a tire change on a 2024 F-150, which is my pickup. And they said they're affiliated with Flag City, blah, 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 whatever. I gave him my card to pay up front because, you know, obviously I don't want to waste money, but really curious who they're going to send. I'm assuming whoever they send doesn't know that these people are doing this, so I'm not going to put that person on camera. I will probably say whatever company it is. We'll see. But I'm not going to put the driver in that spot. It's not his fault. He's just out trying to do his job. I don't think whoever it is doing anything deceitful. So, I just don't think he's aware. But I just want to see. And I'm not going to be confrontational with the guy or anything. Because, hey, just so you know, like, this is what's happening, and, you know, we're not thrilled about it. So, hopefully whoever it is doesn't get mad at me. I mean, they're going to get paid. I paid for the service. You don't even have to change your tire. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of what's actually happening in this. So I'm going to sit here. You know, they said 30 minutes guaranteed, and I guess they said probably 60 minutes. So, you know, they lied there too. We're just dishonest people, man. It's sad what this country's coming to. But we'll sit here and see who shows up. Well, update, folks. You know, like the website said, 30-minute service. I've been sitting here over an hour now. They did call and ask if I could help them with a tire change. I told them I didn't have anybody available. I'm sure they're still shopping around. I really wanted to see who showed up. I might just take off, honestly, and then see if the driver calls as like a GOA maybe. Like maybe he will let us know who he's with. Like I said before, I don't think, you know, the driver knows what's going on. It's just deceitful business practices. So I don't know. I'm gonna wait a few more minutes. Like I said, I've been here an hour, and I haven't heard anything, so we'll see. All right, update, folks. So, like I said, I've been sitting here for an hour, over an hour now. Christian, they called him and told him that the tow truck was broke down on the side of the road, so now it was going to be more expensive. I don't know if they told him a Flag City truck, but I guess that means the customer has to pay more now for the tire change that they've been waiting on. But I feel it. I can't believe people fall for this, but I do feel bad for people that don't know any better, that you know, the fact that a company like this or people like this can even exist, and obviously they're making money off of it, but just being deceitful, which is, I mean, I think we all understand there's deceit in every business, you know, like a bag of chips, you know, the bag looks huge, then you open it up and it's a quarter of the way full, just stuff like that, you know. But this is just full-on deceit. Like, that's not right. Like I said, I don't know what to do about it. I told Christian just to tell him to cancel. because I was the customer, but he was talking to him because I had already talked to the lady, so I didn't want to tip them off. We're just trying to sort out how this racket that they got going works. So they had called me for a price, told them I didn't have anybody available, which never happens. And then they said that I'm assuming a Flag City truck broke down, which I'm not going to, that our trucks never break down, but they're all new. So and if one does break down, I have 4 other ones raring to go. And we would never up the price because our truck broke down. That's not the customer's fault. But this is just crazy. I don't know, like I said, several times in this video, if anybody knows what to do about this or who to contact, or there's probably nothing you can do about it, which is also ridiculous and alarming. If anybody has any ideas, I'd love to hear about it. It's just sad. It just makes you try to do things right. We try to treat people fairly and provide good service and do things the right way, and then you just got people out there like doing this kind of crap. So there's an update from Christian. Let's see what he said. He's on hold with him right now. They just said 60 more minutes. So the website promises 30 minutes. It's been over an hour, and they just said 60 more minutes. So it just goes, obviously people are doing this, so I guess anybody watching this, if you are in a spot and you call one of these generic websites or numbers and they're telling you hours and hours, and I'm sure there's some parts of the country where it would take hours to get somebody, but like around here, you shouldn't be waiting hours and hours for a tire change. And then I wonder what the new price is. But anyways, I guess I'll wrap this up. I'm not going to sit there for another hour. I'll probably, I don't know if he canceled it or not. Maybe wait and see who shows up. Maybe they'll call looking for the vehicle when they get there, so we can see what company it is. And again, I'm not saying that company in particular is doing anything wrong with whatever company they contracted out to do this. I just don't think, maybe they are aware. I was not aware. I knew that these different websites and clubs or whatever were deceitful as far as like the pricing and all that, but I did not know that they were representing themselves as so-and-so towing and recovery, or not even us. I'm sure they're, they do it in other parts of the state, with other companies. So that's not right. Our business is not represented by these people at all. They have nothing to do with us, other than they call us and ask us to do some jobs. But that does not mean they should be saying that we are Flag City Towing and Recovery. We're located at 110 Bentley Court, Findlay, Ohio. No, you're not. You're some generic website made by some who knows who, and some lady from most likely another country. So yeah, I guess that's it. I don't know what else to do about it, but stay tuned for more. Thanks. All right, so final thoughts on this. Back at the office Sunday, Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. I get stuff like this exists in business, and I knew these third-party things were reselling services basically, but I didn't know they were representing themselves as actual local companies. So people are probably gonna say I'm whining about it, but I am a little bit. Frankly, it pisses me off because it all comes down to that lady I was talking to was trying to sell a tow, or inevitably the tire change. Let's go to that. They ended up saying, the website says 30 minutes. It ended up, they wanted $240, and we had to wait 2 hours. They did end up sending a somewhat local company that I paid for the service, so I'm not going to screw over another company or a driver that's out doing his job, so he will get paid. But inevitably, they were selling Flag City service for $240 with a 2-hour ETA, something that we would charge $135 for and have a 25-minute ETA. That's not right. And probably ain't nothing you can do about it, but that ain't right. Call me a whiner all you want, but that's, that's like taking a McDonald's hamburger and reselling it for twice the price and making you wait a half hour to get it, and then still calling it McDonald's. That's you're selling our name, and you're not anywhere near the price or the service, not even close. So that's not right. I don't know what to do about it. I'll look into something, Probably nothing you can do, but I'm not just gonna roll over and take it. So yeah, hopefully this is entertaining and maybe opens a few people's eyes about some deceit. And I'm sure this kind of stuff exists in every industry out there, which is also scary. The internet is a great tool, but it also has opened up a whole other world for deceitful people and criminals and stuff. So, well, we'll just keep pushing through. Thanks, everybody.